Do your eyes feel tired more often these days? Maybe it's that gritty feeling in the afternoon, or blurry vision when reading small print, even though your glasses are up to date. Maybe driving at dusk feels more stressful than it used to. Maybe you've started squinting at your loved ones' faces, and things just don't look as sharp anymore. Let me tell you something important. It's not just age. It's your eyes, quietly asking for help. And today, I'll show you exactly how to give them that help, without expensive supplements or risky procedures. Hi there, I'm Dr. Michael Harrison, and in this video, I'll reveal 3 powerful seeds, backed by science, trusted by patients, and proven to support eye health naturally after the age of 60. And here's the best part. They're already in your local grocery store. They cost less than a cup of coffee per week, and they could help slow down age-related vision loss, relieve dry eyes, and even protect your retina and macula, the most delicate parts of your eyesight. But stay with me to the end, because the 4th item I'll reveal, the one almost everyone overlooks, could be the missing piece in your vision care routine. If you're over 60 or care about someone who is, you do not want to miss this. Let's get started. Section 1. Why your eyes are failing you and it's not your fault. Now let's get real for a moment. If you're over 60, chances are your eyes are already changing. You might not feel pain, and that's part of the problem, because your retina doesn't have pain receptors. That means damage can build silently, slowly, until one day things just aren't clear anymore. You struggle to read the newspaper. You can't recognize a friend's face from across the room. Driving becomes difficult, even dangerous. And worst of all, you start to feel less independent, less confident, less connected to the life you used to enjoy. But here's something you need to hear. This decline is not inevitable. You are not powerless, because science now confirms that the foods you eat, especially after the age of 60, can directly impact how well your eyes age. In fact, a major study called AREDS2, funded by the National Institutes of Health, found that specific nutrients can reduce the risk of severe, age-related macular degeneration by up to 25%. The truth is, your eyes are like tiny engines. They need fuel, not just any fuel, but anti-inflammatory, antioxidant-rich, circulation-boosting fuel, to keep the retina and macula strong, hydrated, and protected. But here's the challenge. Most people don't know what those nutrients are, or they try eye supplements filled with synthetic ingredients that their body can't absorb properly. That's why today I'm going to give you something better, natural, real, effective, 3 simple seeds and 1 unexpected fruit that can nourish your eyes from the inside out, without side effects, without confusion, and without breaking the bank. These foods have helped real patients, just like you, regain eye comfort, reduce dryness, and even hold on to their sharpness longer than they thought possible. And I'll share their stories with you along the way. But first, we need to talk about the first seed, the one that's often dismissed as just a trend, but has proven to be a retinal superhero for seniors. Let's dive in. Section 2, Seed 1, Chia, the retina's best friend. Let me introduce you to something small, but mighty. You've probably seen chia seeds floating in health drinks, or sprinkled on trendy smoothie bowls. But here's what most people don't realize. For aging eyes, chia seeds are a secret weapon. I had a patient named Marlene, 74 years old. She came in complaining of dry, burning eyes every afternoon like clockwork. Reading became exhausting. Artificial tears were her constant companion. I asked her to try one small change. Add 1 teaspoon of chia seeds to her breakfast. No pills, no prescriptions, just food. 4 weeks later, she smiled and said, "I haven't reached for my eye drops in over a week." So, what's the science? Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, and that matters, because omega-3s help reduce inflammation in the retina, the thin, delicate layer in the back of your eye responsible for translating light into vision. Without enough omega-3s, your retina becomes inflamed, blood flow slows, and the sharpness of your vision can begin to fade. But omega-3s in chia, they fight that inflammation, they improve microcirculation, and they help your eyes stay hydrated and nourished even as you age. That's not all. Chia seeds also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, the same antioxidants you'll find in expensive eye supplements. These two work like internal sunglasses. They block blue light, reduce oxidative stress, and protect your eyes when you're exposed to bright screens or sunlight. And there's more. When soaked in water, chia seeds form a gentle gel-like consistency. This gel helps with hydration, supporting your tear film, which is often the first thing to deteriorate in dry eyes. That's why patients often say, "My eyes just feel more comfortable." How to use chia seeds? Simple. Stir 1 teaspoon into oatmeal. Blend into a smoothie. Or make a chia tonic by soaking them in water overnight and sipping slowly in the morning. They have no strong flavor and are incredibly easy to incorporate into your daily routine. But here's an important note. Never eat dry chia seeds. They absorb 10 times their weight in water. If you eat them dry without enough liquid, they can cause digestive issues or worse, swelling in your throat. So here's the rule. Start small, just 1 teaspoon per day, and always drink plenty of water. If you're on blood thinners or blood pressure medications, talk to your doctor first. Chia is natural, but it still interacts with your body in meaningful ways. One of my patients, Edna, 76, was already diagnosed with mild macular degeneration. She said her eyes felt heavy, itchy, and tired by 2 p.m. every day. After 3 weeks of adding chia to her oatmeal, "It feels like my eyes wake up with me in the morning now," she told me. At her next checkup, her eye doctor noticed less visible inflammation. So when I say chia is a senior-friendly superfood, I mean it. It fights inflammation, hydrates your eyes, supports retinal health, protects against blue light and oxidative stress, and all of that in 1 simple spoonful. You don't have to change your whole diet. Just add chia to what you already eat, and let nature support your vision gently, consistently, powerfully. Now, ready for something even stronger? Let's talk about the seed that goes beyond hydration and actually protects the sharpest part of your vision. The macula, coming up next. Seed 2, flax, the macula's silent guardian. Section 3, Seed 2, flax, the macula's silent guardian. If chia seeds are the quiet hero of retinal health, then flax seeds are the silent guardian of the macula, the very center of your vision, the part responsible for seeing details, faces, words, and light contrast. Let's put it this way: if your retina is the camera, then the macula is the lens, and after age 70, that lens is under constant attack, the problem no one talks about. The macula is the part of your eye most vulnerable to aging. It's where age-related macular degeneration, AMD, begins. And once it's damaged, there's no reversing it. Tasks like reading a menu, driving, sewing, or even recognizing your granddaughter's smile all become blurry, frustrating, even heartbreaking. But you're not helpless, because flax seeds offer a natural line of defense, one that's been overlooked by many. Why flax seeds work. Like chia, flax is packed with ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3. But here's the twist. Gram for gram, flax has slightly more ALA than chia. That means even more anti-inflammatory power per bite. But flax goes further. It contains something chia does not: lignans. These are specialized plant antioxidants that have shown remarkable benefits for reducing oxidative stress in sensitive tissues, especially in the macula and optic nerves. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, lignans from flax can neutralize free radicals, support microvascular circulation, and help protect photoreceptor cells, the ones responsible for sharp vision and color contrast. Common misunderstanding: many people buy flax seeds whole. But here's the deal. Whole flax seeds pass right through your system. You must grind them to unlock their nutrients. And trust me, I've seen this mistake far too often. Let me tell you about Harold, 74. He came to me with complaints of glare sensitivity while driving at dusk. The headlights from other cars made him squint, and he said he couldn't follow conversations at dinner anymore, especially under artificial light. We added 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed to his breakfast yogurt each morning. Just 4 weeks later, Harold reported, "I can drive home from choir practice without that stabbing glare, and my digestion feels better too." His eye doctor noted reduced irritation around his macula on the next visit. How to use flax seeds. Always grind them before using. Use a coffee grinder or buy pre-ground. Add 1 tsp to your cereal, smoothie, or soup. Store ground seeds in the fridge. Flax oil is delicate and spoils easily. Start slow, work up to 1 tablespoon per day. Important note: if you're taking blood thinners or hormone-sensitive medications, talk to your doctor. Lignans have mild phytoestrogen properties and may interact in some rare cases. Bonus benefit: gut-eye connection. Now here's something most people don't know. Your gut health affects your eye health. It's called the gut-eye axis, a real biological connection. Flax contains soluble fiber that feeds your good gut bacteria, which in turn lowers systemic inflammation, including in the eyes. So when you eat flax, you're not only helping your macula, you're calming your entire immune system too. Why flax is a must for seniors. Let's recap. More ALA than chia. Unique antioxidants, lignans to protect the macula. Improves light sensitivity and contrast vision. Boosts gut health, reduces full-body inflammation. And it slips easily into your routine, no flavor, no fuss. If you care about keeping the center of your vision strong, the part that lets you read, recognize, and stay independent, then flax should be in your kitchen right now, ready to tackle that dry, burning, end-of-day eye fatigue. Let's move to the third and most underrated seed, sunflower seeds, your eye's natural moisturizer. Section 4, Seed 3, sunflower, the eye's natural moisturizer and antioxidant shield. Now let's talk about one more seed, one you might already have in your pantry, but probably never thought of as a vision booster. Sunflower seeds. Yes, the same seeds you may have snacked on at baseball games, or added to a salad without thinking twice. But here's the truth. Sunflower seeds are one of the most underrated superfoods for aging eyes, especially if you deal with dryness by the afternoon, burning or gritty sensations, foggy or tired eyes after reading or using your phone. Sound familiar? Then sunflower seeds might be exactly what your eyes are craving. What makes sunflower seeds so powerful? It starts with vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that plays a critical role in eye protection. You see, over time, your eyes are constantly exposed to light, air pollution, and oxidative stress. Think of it like rust forming on metal. Vitamin E helps prevent that rusting in your eye tissues. It protects delicate cell membranes in the retina, especially from blue light, UV exposure, and free radicals. According to the Age-Related Eye Disease Study, AREDS, vitamin E is one of the key nutrients shown to slow the progression of macular degeneration. But sunflower seeds offer more than just vitamin E. They're also rich in zinc, supports retinal cell metabolism. Selenium helps recycle antioxidants inside eye cells. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, improves eye circulation. Healthy fats, right arrow, nourish the meibomian glands, which produce part of your tear film. Together, these nutrients don't just protect your vision, they help your eyes feel better. Let me tell you about Joyce, 79. She told me, "By dinner time, I feel like someone's pulling on my eyes from the inside." No drops were helping, no prescription changes, just fatigue, blur, and tension behind the eyes. So we tried something simple. 1 tablespoon of unsalted sunflower seeds, sprinkled over Greek yogurt with some blueberries in the afternoon. After 3 weeks, I'm back to driving home from choir practice without that heavy, foggy feeling. I didn't realize how much eye comfort I was missing until it came back. That's the magic of real nutrition. How to use sunflower seeds. Easy and delicious. Add to your afternoon snack for a vitamin E boost. Mix into salads, yogurt, smoothies, or even baked goods. Choose unsalted, shelled sunflower seeds for heart and blood pressure health. If you have dental concerns, use ground sunflower seeds or seed butter. And remember, moderation is key. Start with 1 tablespoon a day, and if your digestion is sensitive, go slower. Who should be careful? Sunflower seeds are safe for most people. But if you are on a very low-fat diet, have a gallbladder condition, or take medications that affect fat absorption, talk to your doctor first. Because sunflower seeds, while natural, still contain active compounds that interact with your body's systems. Why sunflower seeds matter. Let's zoom out for a moment. Here, what this tiny seed does for you. Delivers vitamin E to fight oxidative stress, supports tear production to fight dry eyes, improves blood flow to nourish the retina, reduces fatigue after screen time or reading, supplies essential eye minerals like zinc and selenium. It's like a daily eye massage in food form. And once again, no pills, no drastic diets, no side effects. Just a humble seed that may quietly restore eye comfort and clarity you didn't know you could still have. So now we've covered 3 powerful seeds. 1. Chia, hydration, anti-inflammation, retina support. 2. Flax, macula protection, light sensitivity, gut-eye connection. 3. Sunflower, tear film, vitamin E, oxidation defense. But before we wrap up, I have one more surprise. It's not a seed. It's not a supplement, it's a fruit. And it might just be the most powerful natural tool you're not using, especially if you're over 70. Ready to find out what it is? Let's move into the bonus strategy, the one food almost everyone misses. Section 5, bonus superfood, blueberries and the optic nerve connection. Let's talk about a food that's delicious, easy to find, and often overlooked when it comes to vision health. Blueberries. Yes, that humble little fruit you see in muffins, cereals, or frozen smoothie bags. What if I told you that blueberries could protect your optic nerve? The power cable that connects your eyes to your brain. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, plant pigments that give them their deep purple-blue color. But anthocyanins do much more than just look pretty. They help reduce inflammation inside the optic nerve, increase rhodopsin production, a protein your eyes need to see clearly in low light, improve microcirculation in capillaries around the retina and macula, fight oxidative stress that accelerates age-related vision decline. In a 2022 study published in Ophthalmic Research, older adults who consumed blueberry extract daily showed measurable improvement in night vision and optic nerve signaling within 8 weeks. And here's the key. You don't need expensive extracts. Whole blueberries work just fine. Take Louise, age 80. She used to avoid going out after 5 p.m. My vision got weird at sunset. I just didn't feel safe walking around. We added just 1/2 cup of frozen blueberries to her breakfast. Nothing complicated at all. After 3 weeks, what happened? I can read the clock at night again. And I am not nervous about watching television in the dark. Why the change? Because anthocyanins support the nerves that control low-light vision, an area that is often ignored in traditional eye care. How to use blueberries properly. Add 1/2 cup to breakfast oats, smoothies, or Greek yogurt. Use frozen berries. They retain 95% of their nutrients. Blend with spinach and almond milk for a powerful smoothie that supports eye health. Combine with sunflower seeds for a perfect afternoon snack. Want to get creative? Toss them into whole grain pancakes or bake into low-sugar muffins. A common mistake. Some people think eating just 3 or 4 blueberries a day will make a difference. Unfortunately, that is not enough. You need at least 1/4 to 1/2 cup every day to get a therapeutic dose of anthocyanins. So go ahead and be generous. Your eyes deserve it. Why blueberries are the final piece. Let's recap what they do. Improve night vision and low-light clarity. Protect the optic nerve. Increase blood flow to the retina. Support neurotransmitter speed between the eyes and brain. Taste amazing, no convincing needed. In short, blueberries feed the very highway your vision travels on. And for seniors dealing with fading sharpness, delayed eye response, or light sensitivity, that highway needs to stay smooth and open. Blueberries can help. Now we've covered chia for retinal inflammation, flax for macular sharpness, sunflower for dry eye relief, blueberries for nerve protection and low-light vision. 4 small, everyday foods, no gimmicks, no pharmaceuticals, just powerful, natural tools you can use starting today. Coming up next, final recap of what to do, how to create a weekly habit that protects your vision for years, and a powerful closing message for anyone over 60 who's worried about their eyes. Let's wrap this up right. Recap, habit building. Let's take a breath and look back at what you just discovered. You now know 4 powerful, science-backed foods that can help protect your eyesight, especially after the age of 60, 70, or even 80. Let's recap. Your 4 daily allies for healthy EYES. Chia seeds reduce inflammation, hydrate the retina and support tear film. Flax seeds protect the macula, improve detail and contrast vision, and nourish your gut-eye axis. Sunflower seeds deliver vitamin E, relieve dry eye, and defend against oxidative stress. Blueberries strengthen the optic nerve, boost low-light vision, and support eye-brain communication. How to build the habit simply. Now you might be wondering, do I have to eat all of them every single day? The answer is no. You do not need a perfect plan, you just need a steady rhythm. Here is a simple suggestion. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Have ground flax seeds and blueberries for breakfast. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Add chia seeds to your smoothies and enjoy sunflower seeds as an afternoon snack. Sunday. Do whatever brings you joy. By then, your eyes are already smiling back. Just choose one moment in your day, where a spoonful or a handful can fit, and repeat it every week. That is all it takes. Consistency is greater than complexity. What this really means for you, this isn't about food, it's about freedom. The freedom to read bedtime stories to your grandkids, to drive home from dinner with confidence, to see your loved ones' faces clearly, joyfully, sharply. Every spoonful of chia, flax, sunflower, or blueberry is your way of saying, I still care for myself, I still want to live fully, and I'm not done seeing the world. And that is powerful. Now it's your turn. If you found this video helpful, please take 5 seconds and do this. Tap the like button. It helps more people find this video. Click subscribe so you never miss another natural health tip. And most of all, leave a comment below. Which of these foods are you already using? Which one will you start this week? Or what's been your biggest eye health challenge lately? Your comment might inspire someone else to start caring for their vision too. Final thought. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to show up for yourself. One small habit at a time, because your eyes, they've served you for decades. Now it's your turn to serve them back. Take care of your eyes, take care of yourself, and I'll see you clearly in the next video.